Ooh, big one.
Uh-oh.
Jonathan Hickman's penultimate issue of X-Men, issue number 20. We get some answers, and we get a shit ton of questions in this book. The first, I wouldn't say the first, but first in a long time issue of Hickman's book that feels like a direct connection to Hoxpox.
Yes.
Like,
which, if it's not obvious enough already, like, spoilers to the I can't say spoiler warning enough. Like, if you were involved or interested in Hickman's era of X-Men in even the slightest bit, just know that this book is, it's just like the biggest spoiler that we've had so far. So just keep that in mind. If you haven't read it, you are still doing X-Men, maybe mute us until you see the next book.
Yeah. So this issue is essentially the match that gets lit to like really, I think,
see what you did there.
that lights the match to like really get, I think, the reign of X, unfortunately, to get it started, but it also might be the downfall of the reign. Like we're about to peak. This is the peak, basically. Now, we could be wrong, but anyway, what we get in this book is, we're calling back to Mystique and trying to get her wife back, Destiny. And Magneto and Professor X have continuously raised the bar on her to get to get Raven's wife moved into Resurrection Protocol up in the line. But we all know as readers that she'll never really come back. She's never going to allowed to come back because there's a rule from Moira that no cognitive mutants are allowed to be resurrected on the island, because they'll see the future and know that no matter what the mutants do, they're going to fail.
Yeah.
Before I go any further, we've said it before and we'll say it again. We like to show our sources, and I cannot highly recommend enough Comic Book Herald's channel on this. He breaks this down so precisely and so just beautifully, honestly. Like, he just has a plethora of knowledge on X-Men stuff. And so, like, his theories and his views on this are really what are guiding me and Nate's like real, like, focused review of this book. So if
I actually haven't seen this video, I need to see it.
Oh my god, you need to see it. It's so good. And then he did a live video about it too. Yeah. Anyway, so the last time we saw Raven, she went to the Orcus space station and found out that they were building Nimrod quicker than they had anticipated. So she went up there and put a gate to kind of watch it and make sure, how it was progressing, so that when the time was right, they could blow that shit up. And so in this issue, that's what we get. We get Professor X and Magneto saying, we need you to go take care of business. We need you to blow this thing up. And if you do, we'll resurrect your lady. But you have to be successful, because if you don't, no resurrection. So Mystique goes to Forge and asks for a weapon. And he's like, well, what do you need? And she's extremely vague, to the point where once they finally figure out what she needs, Forge creates, in essence, a black hole.
Yep.
A grenade.
Like a black hole grenade.
A black hole grenade. And so she goes up to the station. We cut to the station, and our scientist who was in Hoxpox, she had a husband who died in Hoxpox. He sacrificed himself so that the whole station wouldn't blow up. And so she's been able to actually take his subconscious and put it into Nimrod. And she resurrects her husband into this AI robot, essentially. And he's like, holy shit, I'm alive. And she's super happy about it, because she's got her love of her life back. But then the robot of, the Nimrod of him takes hold. And before like this lovey-dovey moment can happen, he immediately recognizes that Raven or Mystique is on the station. He's like, that's a mutant right there.
It was so funny. He was literally like, oh, hey, wait a minute. That's a mutant.
Yeah. He's like, I love you so. That's a mutant. And so Mystique's like, holy shit, I've been found out. She starts, shooting dudes, and she's starting to go to the center of the station so she can blow this thing up. And, you know, we see the full force of Nimrod and the, you know, human mind that's actually inside this thing too. Like, it kind of makes him a little bit stronger because he can kind of take his intelligence and feed it into the AI and be one step ahead of Mystique. That to be said, Mystique doesn't pull it off. She just about gets there, and she gets killed, thrown into a gate, and her bomb doesn't go off because the husband Nimrod guy sacrifices himself so that the whole station doesn't blow up. So
Yep.
the scientist wife gets her husband back. They have literally 2 minutes to kind of reunite, and then he kills himself again to sacrifice to save everybody.
Yep.
Super fucking fast. Anyway, she comes back, and they have to resurrect her because she died going through the gate. And Magneto and Professor X basically say, "You failed." And the fact that Nimrod's alive, now we gotta go take care of business. By the way, your wife's not coming back.
Well, she literally says, "What about Irene?" And Professor X looks at her and says, "What about her?"
What about her?
I was like, "Fuck!" Like, if you ever, you know, because throughout the history of Professor X, people have taken him as sometimes ambiguous. Is he really a good guy? Is he really a bad guy? Like, mean guy or an asshole or like whatever. And Hickman's done a pretty good job of like towing the line in his book. And I think that he lays it all out here really quickly. It's just like, Professor X is a piece of shit. Like, in case you were wondering, here you go.
No, and if you didn't know that because of like the way he treats his son in Way of X, now into this, like, it's like totally cemented in issue 20 that he's a complete asshole. So as we're building to them, like, basically saying they need to go talk to Moira, we have a dialogue of Destiny telling Raven what she needs to do in an event that she is not allowed to be resurrected. And essentially what she says to Mystique is, you need to burn it all down. You need to just fuck Krakoa. Take care of it. It's gone. It's done. Yeah. And we get a reveal that Magneto and Professor X went to go see Moira in her special lair that we haven't seen her in. So she's finally coming back, and she's reading Destiny's journals, her timelines. So she's gathering more information from a future seeing mutant. So there's a little bit of groundwork there. And then when you turn the page, lo and behold, the next book that Hickman is going to be writing is The Inferno, Part 2 or Part 2. I don't know. A lot of shit's about to go down. So I think we're really being thrusted into the Hellfire Gala. The way Comic Book Herald talked about it, he's like, I kind of want Hellfire Gala to be over already, just because I want to see what Inferno is going to bring. But I think that's Herald, you know, knowing a shit ton more than excited. Well, he just knows a lot more than us, and he knows the importance of Inferno. And I think he just doesn't have faith that the gala will be as consequential as Inferno. We'll find out in a couple weeks, right? Well, I don't know. Technically, we get gala issues
next week,
but we don't get the official like planet-sized issue.
Yeah,
and all the
like
writers
through the event,
all the writers have been like, you don't even know. Like, I've seen so much shit on Twitter about like other writers saying like, you have no fucking clue how big planet-sized gala is, even though it's only 28 pages or 32 pages. We'll have to wait and see. But this issue was fantastic. I thought the artwork was really good. I love this fucking cover, and this felt like a classic Hoxpox issue, and I think that's why I liked it so much. And it was almost my pick of the week, but it was not.
I thought you forgot to click it.
Nope, it's not my pick of the week. It's almost, but it's not my pick of the week. So
that means I don't know what your pick of the week is.
Ooh. You got anything else to say on this one?
Oh, okay. Nope, that's it.
Okay.